3.5 to 7 billion trees a year are cut down according to the Rainforest Action Network. Because of this, there has been an increase in global warming, there has been an increase in erosion within coasts and parks, including just several residencies that are seeing lots of their land being washed away because of the lack of anchoring within the soil. With that being said, hi, my name is Aaron Minhades. Today I'm going to be talking to y'all about an organization that is focused here in Central Texas called Tree Folks. Everybody will please take one of these. I have a lot more. Today, I wanted to call y'all to action, and before I actually do this, I just wanted to say that my name is Aaron Minhades again. I do go to St. Edward's University. I'm a college student there. But what I was as a volunteer was an actual plan. Whenever I first went into this organization, it was very simple. I went through their website just to see, hey, what can I do to plant more trees within my community is something that I actually really like to do. If you look right here in the community buildings, according to their website, Tree Folk engages in thousands of volunteer and community group plants, trees in public parks, preserves, and schoolyard. Where I specifically went was Bartholomew Park here in Austin. It is about 20 minutes from here, a little bit more north. We ended up planting, I think it was a little over 1,000 trees that day, all of which we don't really know how many are going to survive, but that was our goal for that day. Yearly, they tend to plant at least 1 million trees throughout Central Texas in 22 counties, which is about twice the size of Massachusetts, as according to them. I wanted to point out what they actually did in Bastrop after a lot of forest fires and floods that occurred. They ended up planting over 1.5 million trees just in the Bastrop area. They really encourage kids to go out there, especially younger kids who have really high energy, because it is kind of labor intensive. You do dig the holes yourself, plant the trees yourself. Not only that, we also go around the entire park or just the general area. Any trash that we see, we pick it up. I personally literally pulled out half a mattress from the ground, just the springs. Everything was done for. So I pulled out half a mattress from under the ground. And the reason that they tend to use younger people is so they can learn from a young age. As I was talking before, the reforestation, what they did in Bastrop, planting the 1.5 million trees, as you see there. Another thing that they're really passionate about is the education of these young volunteers, I guess you could say. Although their ages do range from as little as 3 years old to as old as you can be. When it comes to their education, Tree Folks provides a free year-round education opportunities for all ages with emphasis on hands-on. They really emphasize on the hands-on, experimental learning using the urban forest as our teacher. Not only do we go to parks and things like this, they also encourage the communities to plant within their own community in residential areas, may that be in urban or rural areas. I know that Bastrop is a very rural area that has a lot of forest, that they tend to focus a lot of time in that area. Lastly, I want to talk about the growing the urban forest, as I have mentioned. According to their website, Tree Folks partners with the city of Austin to give trees to qualifying Austinites in the urban core through tree giveaways and consulting, which is actually one of the ways that y'all can volunteer, or just donate your time, resources, anything of that sort. If you do look at the top of the handout, It gives you a website where you can apply. There is an address on there as well. You can go to their actual headquarters and ask how you can help out there. When you go on their website, there is 3 different options what you can do. You can volunteer as an actual planter. They actually they provide the trees, they provide you with breakfast most times. When I went, they provided us with bagels, tacos, and coffee. Of course, water, so everybody can keep hydrated. So there are those perks. They always send out emails just to see, or just to let y'all know what more y'all can do in y'all's community. Not necessarily with the organization, but with yourself and by yourself as well. You can also donate by donating actual funds for the organization or just donating trees. The trees are actually pretty pricey when it comes to buying as many as they do in one setting, so the donation is usually where they get most of their trees from. So in conclusion, I just really wanted to talk about the 4 main points that I was talking about today. When it comes to the community building and how they really encourage people to engage in their community, plant trees, just to clean up the environment, clean up the air. We talked about the restoration of the forest, especially in places like Bastrop. The education, we really focus on educating the kids from a really young age, and that's why we provide a year-round course to where they can not necessarily apply, but just go. It's free. They teach you everything that you have to know. I mean, you don't have to be a kid. Any of y'all can go there as well to the classes. And lastly, the growing of the urban forest. We just really want to encourage people to plant within their communities, within their residential areas. As we see a lot of people do here on campus as well. We have trees from different parts of the world, from our sister schools and whatnot. But this is the end of my presentation. Thank you all for listening. Is there any questions?